last year missed games due to rib and hand injuries. On top of that, he just never made three-point shots like he did when he was a high school basketball standout at Covington Catholic or during his 2 years at Iowa when he was one of the nation's most accurate three-point shooters. However, when C.J. Frederick did put his name into the transfer portal, I knew he still wanted to play. Leaving Kentucky was no surprise, even though he loved playing for Coach John Calipari. He knew with guards D.J. Wagner, Rob Dillingham, and Reed Shepard coming into Kentucky next season, along with the expected return of Antonio Reeves, that even if he was healthy, he might have trouble getting the kind of playing time he would want.
Lots of views. We'll return in a moment.
Put a little spring in your step. There's no better place than the Bluegrass State. And Kentucky's 45 state parks offer wide open spaces to play and stay, including private cottages and lakeside campgrounds. Plus, you can tee up at 13 nationally recognized golf courses nestled in beautiful surroundings. Plan your getaway today at www.parks.ky.gov. That's www.parks.ky.gov.
C.J. Frederick is from Cincinnati, even though he played his high school basketball at Covington Catholic. So it was not a huge surprise when he picked Cincinnati as his next basketball destination. It gets him back home and seems like a great fit because the Bearcats lost 3 of their best shooters off last year's team. If Frederick can return to the shooting form he had at Iowa, he could be a huge addition for the Bearcats. However, my hope is that he can just stay healthy and enjoy a full season because it seems like he deserves at least that much.
Find more from Larry at yoursportsedge.com.
Time to take a look at community news on 1580 103.3 WPKY. This morning's community news is brought to you by Audubell Hearing Center in the Princeton Plaza.
If you have anything you need to add to the list, all you have to do is text it to us at 270-963-9038. Cloverbud Camp is giving youth ages 5 through 8 a chance to having a camping experience shared with a parent or guardian. Now, Cloverbud Camp's a great time for young people to learn. You can give Miss Rhonda Jewell a call at 270-365-2787. Get those kids signed up. Deadline to register is May 17th. 4-H Teen Conference, that's coming up too, June 13th through the 16th. Of course, the deadline for that is Monday, May 15th for those registration forms. Again, call Rhonda, 270-365-2787. Princeton, Kentucky Hot Rods and Cruise Inns announced their Cruise In lineup this weekend at the Courthouse Square. Downtown Princeton dash plaques for the first 50 people that enter. All scheduled Cruise Ins will have 50-50 drawings as well. This Sunday, May 14th, 3 to 5 p.m., of course, every second Sunday of the month throughout the season. Get those fishing poles out. Don't miss out to take the kids fishing. Trade Water Tournament on Saturday, May 20th from 9:30 to 11:30. Riverside Park in Dawson for only $2. Kids ages 3 to 15 get in on food, fun, fish, and prizes, including a complete hot dog lunch, even prizes like bicycles. Registration forms available at Princeton Electric Plant Board, Water and Wastewater, Princeton Housing, Caldwell Extension, and more. Of course, the day of, that's on Dawson Road, Highway 62 West. Just follow the signs. Black Patch Jeep owners will have a Jeeps and Java meet at MJ's Latte Saturday, May 13th, 8 till 11. All Jeeps are welcome. Food truck will be on site as well. Hit the course for a cause. Help Princeton Rotary Club support their Build-A-Bed program by participating in this year's charity golf scramble. Get your 4-person team together Friday, June 9th. Princeton Golf Club. Now, it'll cost you about $400 a team. That'll include green fees, lunch, and even a skirt and mulligan per person. Those prizes will be per hole. Registration starts at 11 a.m. Of course, tee time at noon. 2 carts required per team. Rentals are available. Participate as a team or a sponsor or both. Give Amanda Dossett a call, 270-519-0996. And grab your buddies because there's another one. It's time to get signed up for the annual Chamber 4-person golf scramble. Now, that's going to be Friday, July 21st, but you need to go ahead and get signed up now. $350 a team, first and second team prizes, par 3, hole in 1, and is up for grabs as well. Each player is going to receive lunch, skirt, and mulligan. Teams are responsible for your carts. Holler at Jake Pepper. That's how you get registered, and he'll answer any questions that you have as well. HR Ministries, weekly Bible study every Monday at Joseph's Storage Bin, downtown Princeton, 6 p.m. Pastors, don't forget the Pastors Luncheon every Tuesday at 11 a.m. at Majestic House. Get your calendars out. May 16th. That is just next week, 10 a.m. at the Extension office. Caldwell Extension Office's Ashley Board is going to join George Kuhn at George Kuhn for Story Hour for story, songs, and stretches. It's a yoga-based program for kiddos 5 and under. And absolutely free, by the way. For more information, you can call her at 365-2787. And don't forget, the public's invited Friday, May 26th at 1 to honor those involved in recently restoring some stuff over at Pennaroyal Industries on Highway 62 in Princeton. Of course, guest speakers will include Princeton Mayor Brock Thomas, Brother Roger Felker, as well as the unveiling of a brand new memorial plaque. So you don't want to miss that. Again, that is May 26th. At 1 p.m. Of course, get ready for kickoff to VBS at Fredonia's First Baptist Church. Now, that's coming up May 31st at 8 p.m. You can visit their Facebook page for more information. Calvary's got their 7th annual 6K for water on Saturday, May 20th. Caldwell County High School track is a team. Over the past 6 years, they've helped provide 562 kids with clean water for life. You can visit global6k.worldvision.org for more information or to sign up online. For all this information and a whole lot more, believe it or not, it's located on our website at WPKYonline.com.
Hello, friends. This is Donnie Baker with Audubell Hearing Center, and I'm here to tell you that not all hearing aids are created equal. They may look the same on the outside, but it's the brain on the inside that counts. Our new VIA hearing aids were recently awarded Time Magazine's Best 100 Inventions of 2019. Come experience the Audubell difference. Offices in Paducah, Murray, and Princeton. Call 270-554-1900 today.
At Goodwin Insurance, they select their insurance companies the same way you do, very carefully. When you work with the agents at Goodwin Insurance, you can count on receiving fast, courteous professional service with quality protection. You deserve someone that provides comprehensive coverage and is working alongside you in your community. Contact them today for a quote.
Goodwin Insurance of Princeton, Cadiz, or Marion, or online at insurewithgoodwin.com.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Without you, it wouldn't have been possible. We're proud to announce that WPKY has received the prestigious Community Service Award from the International Broadcasters Idea Bank organization. This award recognizes the importance and value of making the community a better place to live. It's special for WPKY to be recognized by our peers, but it's more important that you listen, and even more important that you support our community.
Thank you. At Trilogy Performance Sports, they believe in only the highest standards of physical fitness training. Their staff members are actively enriching the lives of their members and creating a community of like-minded people. And getting you in shape is their #1 goal. They have everything you need: knowledge, experience, and equipment. They find out what's important to you and design a customized plan that fits your needs. Learn more at trilogyperformancesports.com.
If you're involved in an auto accident, it's your choice where your vehicle is repaired. Some insurance companies refer you to pro shops because they give the insurance company discounts. But with those discounts, the insurance company has input on the parts used and might not always use what is best. At Trice Used Body Shop, they're not partnered with an insurance company, but they give the same lifetime limited warranty to the person who owns the vehicle at the time of repairs. Visit Trice Used in Princeton for your vehicle repairs.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Kentucky. Brought to you by the Kentucky High School Athletic Association and the Kentucky Athletic Administrators Association.
If you really enjoy the stories you hear on Traveling the Bluegrass, we'd like to invite you to listen to the whole visit uncut. Just type youragedge.com into your browser. You'll find Traveling the Bluegrass uncut stories in long form, so you don't miss a thing. You'll also find lots of ag news and farm pictures from across the Commonwealth. You can also find all the Kentucky communities that Traveling the Bluegrass can be found. Remember to visit youragedge.com.
Today's society is dependent on electricity. The Princeton Electric Plant Board has what you demand for electricity anywhere, anytime at the required level of quality. They work to ensure our community's power system has the resources in place for reliability today and into the future. Their work and commitment has reduced the frequency and duration of power outages with a reliability rate of 99.9%. Princeton Electric Plant Board, bringing our customers safe and reliable energy.
At Little River Vet Clinic, Doctors Todd and Joanna Freeman have the experience to take care of your small and large animals. Follow Little River Vet Clinic on Facebook and find them on Glenwood Mill Road in Cadiz.
Your Weather Edge Weather Center forecast, an overnight low of 59, and by this afternoon, partly sunny with a high of 81, 50% chance for showers and thunderstorms. By Thursday night, a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms continues. Mostly cloudy skies, low around 64, and then on Friday, a 60% chance of showers and storms, especially in the mid to late afternoon. Partly sunny skies, high of 83 degrees. But back to you right now, an overnight low of 59, and by this afternoon, partly sunny and 81.
Fredonia Valley Bank is proud of our area's senior athletes and is celebrating their accomplishments. They're sharing special senior stories featuring the class of 23 in a senior spotlight. Follow yoursportsedge.com or download the app and listen for updates on 103.3 WPKY.
The season's on the line.
As Fredonia Valley Bank gives our senior athletes a special moment to shine.
At yoursportsedge.com, we strive every day to continue to bring you the gold standard in high school sports coverage with more on your teams and your players.
Where did it show up there?
And while they are not gold, those crystal awards we have won for doing what we love to do are pretty cool too.
That's something you see every day.
The Kentucky Broadcasters Best Digital Product Award winner. Yoursportsedge.com.
It's time for your SportsEdge.com Sideline Report with Todd Griffin. Talking sports and more here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com. Here's your host, Todd Griffin.
Good morning, everyone. The Sideline Report is on the air from 1035 West Main Street in Princeton. From the WPKY studios this morning, this is Todd Griffin of WPKY Radio and YourSportsEdge.com. We'll jump right into things this morning. We've got Caldwell County track coach Steve Shaw in the studio with us. And, Coach, welcome back to the show. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having me on. Always appreciate the time to be on the radio, promote the team, talk about what we're up to and what we're doing. I'm getting a couple texts in. I guess everybody at the middle school is listening in, or some of the classes are listening. So get your heads up. You know who you are.
Yeah, good. So, we've got a big audience this morning then.
Yes. So, yeah, lots of reach. Good for the advertising.
Yeah. And you've got a big event coming up this Saturday.
So we're going to have our first big Saturday meet. We've had a couple of meets, and they've gone pretty good. You know, we needed something where we could work out the bugs. Some people get some experience on how things are going to work at a track meet. Areas where we're going to need folks and things we need to focus on and make sure that we have ready. But we've got about 13 teams coming in, a lot more than I expected. My goal was 8. If I get 8 teams in here, regardless of who it was, and just use it as a way to promote the fact that we have the track, we have the timing, and that we can run a good meet. That's going to lead to, further events next year. You know, it's a build, kind of the meet side. It's a build for us to kind of advertise it and get teams coming in and start having bigger meets throughout the year, throughout the season. That way, when we can get the track team to a point where it's a net zero kind of for the athletic fund. Really, we've been a draw, for 10 years. Plus, everything's been on the road. There's really not been any revenue coming into the track program as far as fundraising, or it's just fundraising. But we really weren't generating revenue like volleyball and basketball, baseball, football, softball generate. Bringing people in, soccer, where they can bring folks in, and you have admissions and concessions, and it helps contribute to the athletic fund as opposed to taking away. I don't want track to be something that takes away. I want us to add to the school. And at a small school, that's really important for us to be able to do that.
Well, I was going to say, down at Paducah last Saturday, the Area 1 Championships, huge crowd there for that. They were taking up money. They had concessions going all day. Just a big event, and schools can use those as a big fundraiser.
They can. We've got 13, like I said, we got 13 teams, well, 12, not including ourselves. And, entry fee for that meets $150. So right there's close to $1,800 plus admissions. And, that all goes into the athletic fund, which helps offset, for us, travel when we go to state in about a month. And, just travel when we go other places. Those are big expenses, taking a bus and bus driver. School helps. They're taking care of uniforms, and they're helping us with equipment. We're partnering with the athletic department through, the fundraising that we do, and then the money that they have to just upgrade equipment at all times. And so it's good. It's a source of pride for me, and I really think it's a source of pride for the kids that we're not just representing the school the way we do regionally, and the notice that we get across the state now as the program's building, but also that we're contributing to athletics. We're just not taking away, and I think everybody involved with the program really takes kind of a sense of pride in that.
Of course, one big thing when you have a big home meet, that takes a lot of people.
It's all hands on deck. I talked about it with our parents at the beginning of the year. I said, hey, this is our goal. This is what we want to do. We've got this track. Now we want to show it off, but we got to have a lot of people involved. You've got multiple events going on at one time, and you've got to move things around. You've got concessions. You've got to have somebody timing. You have to have somebody relaying that information. You have to have an announcer, and there's a lot that goes on involved with a track meet. And unfortunately, I've got Coach Meeks, who had been a distance coach with me, and had been it's just really been a big part of the Caldwell County track program for a long time, from the time she was an athlete to a coach, and now really a tremendous help for me in putting this on. And we're together and working on it. We have really the most track experience, and poor Coach Riley is working really hard. He just didn't realize how much happened at a track meet, but he's jumped right in, and hey, what do you need? What can I help with? Okay, I've got this taken care of. And so the three of us working together, and then my assistant coaches, like Coach White, is really helping coordinate with our team mom, Robbie Wells, on getting the concessions lined up. And Coach Goodwin, she's got the jump area locked down, and Coach Clark has the throwers area down below where there's really not anybody at, and she's got it under control. And then it's just parents coming in and helping and volunteering and just being a part of the program. And that's the only way you can really be successful, I think, really it doesn't matter what sport it is. You got to have just good parent involvement with your program.
What time are you guys getting underway on Saturday?
Weather permitting, we'll start our field events. So we'll start long jump and high jump, and the discus and shot put. Those will all start about 10 o'clock to get everything rolling. And then we'll start running. We'll hit the track at about 10:30. May bump that up. Looks like the weather's coming in. And so we may move everything and have a whole start at 10 o'clock. So, if you're coming out, you're coming to see, one, bring an umbrella. Two, I would say, probably be there. I'd be there early. If you're coming to watch the kids, we'll start with the 4x8. We've got some of the top teams in the region are coming, and I'm really, really happy about that. We've spent a lot of time building those relationships, with Callaway and Union, and Tillman's coming, Madisonville sending some folks, St. Mary, Fulton City's coming up. So we've got, all different sizes of teams coming in, and so, that's just going to help us build the program as far as notoriety. People are going to come see. Hopefully they have a good time. They know it's a good track, and that's just going to bring them in.
I would just like to point out, though, that I've been to several track meets this year. The weather has been pretty good at some of those.
Yeah, usually I'm not used to seeing good weather when you're there, and that's been a kind of a running joke with Todd and I for a while. It just seems like whenever he was there, we would just happen to get some rain. He's never washed one out, and so we've been really fortunate. Last Saturday was really good, and it's been a cool and windy spring for sure. But overall, I can't really complain. We've gotten everything in. We had one. The Marshall County has a twilight relay that's just a lot of fun, and the kids really look forward to going to it every year. And unfortunately, that one is the one that we've had get rained out this year.
Now, I was at the Crittenden County track meet a couple of years ago, where when we all left town, it was 78 degrees, and when we all left Crittenden County a couple hours later, it was 32.
We still laugh about that one. Before that, our first track meet we ever went to when I was here, we went to McLean County, and when it got dark, it dipped pretty fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, about 2 years ago, we left, and they had been talking about that this front was going to come through and the weather was going to change, and we left out. It was mid-60s.
Yeah.
A good day to go, and when we got off the bus, it was in the 40s.
Yeah.
Just the trip between Princeton and Marion, it had dropped so fast. And I mean, they were hiding under. Usually we take a tarp and a tent. And they were hiding under the tarp, and I looked at Coach White. I said, "Okay, you go. I'll go find Coach Goodwin. You go find Coach Clark, and we're out here."
Yeah.
So.
We're talking this morning with Caldwell County track coach Steve Shaw. Again, big home meet coming up on Saturday. Hopefully the weather holds for that. And if the weather allows this afternoon, we've got softball action here on WPKY. The Lady Tigers hosting Marshall County today. And we'll have that game for you from Lady Tiger Field at the Ratliff Park Complex immediately following the 5 o'clock newscast today. Also, baseball in action hosting Livingston Central at home today at the VFW ballpark. So hopefully the wet weather stays away long enough for us to play baseball and softball this afternoon. We'll talk some more track when we come back. Stay with us as we roll on the Sideline Report here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
We believe you want to make wise financial decisions and live generously. At First Southern National Bank, we are making that even easier. Banking should be convenient for you and your schedule. With our new ITMs, a video teller is available to assist you with almost everything you could do inside a bank or at an ATM. You don't have to get out of your car, and the ITMs will offer extended hours, making it easier to deposit checks, withdraw cash, and more. Learn more about ITMs at fsnb.net. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Johnson's Furniture and Appliances in Marion, Kentucky, you're treated like family. Because to them, family is everything. Johnson's has the reputation of helping customers with brands you can count on, like GE Appliances. Shop their selection of GE appliances with premium finishes and features that make household chores easier, giving you time to do what matters. Bring home the long-lasting quality of GE Appliances today. Trust Johnson's for furniture, bedding, and appliances. Because you're like family, and family is everything.
At Tri-Shoes, they're ordering it your way. How would you like to have a vehicle built just for you? Little things are important, like rich colors, big screens and displays, almost like watching TV. Exteriors with beautiful style and powerful engines that respond to the lightest touch on the accelerator. It's time to get what you want. Order your new ride and feel the thrill when you drive off the lot. Tri-Shoes in Princeton is the one-stop shop for everything your vehicle needs. For more information, visit trishoes.com. That's trishoes.com.
Leap into all the springtime activities with the money you need to make it the best ever. From graduations, college, home repairs, auto purchase, and family reunions, you don't want to worry about money? At ABC Finance, they can help. With loans from $500 to $15,000, decisions are made quickly, usually within an hour. Do all the things this spring with help from ABC Finance.
This is Todd Morris at the Hopkinsville ABC Finance location.
And this is Savannah Seymour at ABC Finance in Princeton.
Whatever location is closest to you, we're here to help make the loan process quick, easy, and stress-free.
We can even consolidate all your loans into one easy payment.
No appointment is needed and walk-ins are welcome. We can take your application in person, over the phone, or apply online at abcfinanceonline.com.
At ABC Finance, you're more than a credit score. Helping you get a handle on your finances is what we do best.
Learn more about us at abcfinanceonline.com and be sure to like and follow ABC Finance on Facebook for daily money tips and community information.
All loans subject to normal credit approval.
This is the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Thanks a lot for tuning in today. A little bit later on this morning, we'll talk with former Caldwell County Tiger Fonzo White. He's a Caldwell County High School grad, 1993 grad. He's the new boys basketball head coach at Floyd Central in Floyd's Knobs, Indiana, just outside of Louisville. So we'll chat with him a little bit later on this morning. Right now, talking with Caldwell County track coach Steve Shaw. And some big news yesterday from the Kentucky High School Athletic Association meeting. Apparently, Caldwell County in line, Steve, to move down to 1A in track with the new alignments.
That is the rumor I'm hearing. I haven't seen anything officially from the state. That's something I'll worry about next year. There's a lot of really good teams in 1A. Moving down from 2A, I've kind of noted it for a while that we're probably the smallest school in 2A track.
Yeah.
We're competing with schools twice our size, and it just makes a difference in numbers, and that's usually what what gets us. It's not necessarily the top athletes. We have several athletes that are going to compete, for at the regional and are going to qualify for state. Should qualify for state, and but moving down to 1A, it's just we just don't have the numbers. I don't have that 2, 3, 4 that a lot of other schools have. You look at schools like Tillman and Callaway, and they've got 6 people deep at a lot of the different events, and they can have people run 1 or 2 events and specialize. Whereas I really have to have people across the board. They have to compete in 3 or 4, have to. And sometimes that it makes it more challenging depending on how close their events are to how their performance is going to be. They're going to have to run from the long jump to the 100 or over to last week at the Area 1s is a perfect example. Ava Pickett had to run from, she just ran a 300 hurdles, which is one of the most demanding races there are, in my opinion, because it's just an all-out sprint, and you're having to jump 10 hurdles while you're doing it, and ran a fantastic time, ran a 50-51, and then had to go over to gather herself up and then go over to high jump, and then she turned around and went over there and high jumped 5 foot, which in my opinion is probably one of the best performances at that meet, to go from one to the other and finish top 3 in 2 very different events and back to back. And then Timothy Nichols he ran a 400 as part of the 4x4 team, and thankfully was able to kind of gather himself back, and then had to go triple jump right after that. And that's just a lot of demands on athletes. And we have several, and there's quite a few. I go across the board. They go from the 100 to the 4x2. They'll go from a 200 to a 400, and it makes it harder on us being a small school. And we've got good numbers. I just don't have the depth. We're getting there as the program's growing. And when kids are coming out, they're figuring out there's opportunities in track, to compete, and then to stay conditioned for other sports. And then I've got kids that are going to college on track scholarships that never really thought about track. Maybe they came out because a friend was out. Maybe they came out because the parents recommended it, or maybe I just talked to them. And it's like, I like Coach Shaw. I think it'd be fun. I kind of like the atmosphere around the team, and then they get out and they realize the track team's a little different in the way that we go about things, and the group is really they're a solid group. They're good. They're there for each other. It's and it's a little bit different atmosphere than you see a lot of times, and they stick with it. And Blake Lancaster is getting ready to sign with Kentucky Wesleyan to go run track, and he was played soccer his whole life. He came out for track for 2 years, and last year Ethan Witherspoon, same way. He's a soccer kid and wound up going for track. And it's just opened opportunities for a lot of kids that they might not realize.
Do you find that the new track surface is kind of a big draw for people to maybe catch their eye and want to run track?
It definitely piques their interest to get them talking to me, which helps. They all have some questions, and I tell kids, like, hey, you want to come out and try it, and you realize maybe this isn't for me. I'm not going to hold any. I'm not going to keep you here. We're not going to chain you. It's not a contract, right? You're not locked up for the next year, and some kids like it, some kids it's not exactly what they expected, and that's okay. Life's about trying things and experiencing, and you can say, hey, I tried it, I gave it a really good effort, it just wasn't for me, and that's fine. But it does help. They see the surface, they get out there on it and get to run a little bit and get to see what a difference that thing can make when you get out there and run.
Well, and you get to have some home meets. I mean, how much fun has it been to actually get to compete at home and just to have that track to practice on?
Just the ability to practice on it consistently and not have to worry about, if it's a little bit wet on that pavement, we just couldn't practice, especially in the sprint side. Distance could get out there, but they still had to be careful. But you just, you have to worry about slipping and injury. And, with this one, we can throw the spikes on there, and unless it's just something, crazy going on with the weather, we can get out there. And it makes a big difference injury-wise. You still have a few kind of those compression injuries of, knees and hips and things like that you would get if you played any sport. But there's a lot less with that surface. And you go somewhere, like we went to McCracken County, and their track is probably a 1/4 inch of rubber over pavement. You can hear the spikes hitting when kids are running. You can hear that clack down the track. And you can tell a difference. Like the kids can tell a difference. And so, I've been talking to everybody, and they're, these other teams that are coming, they're excited to come and get on this track.
Yeah. Now, at some point down the road, could we host a regional track meet? I mean, what has to happen for that to occur, and is that something you've even thought about?
We've talked about it. There's a few things that we would have to upgrade. The state is really picky about what everything is. Our long jump runway follows kind of the curve of the football field, which makes sense. And so you can't, that right there would disqualify us. It has to be level. By the state rule, I was reading it as we were putting everything together. It has to be within 1/100th of an inch of level. And so basically perfectly level.
Yeah.
Our high jump area would
the
have
way
to be
ours
big.
runs, because the crown of the football field is always going to.
Yeah, you would either have to dig out or the middle, which would look weird. You kind of run through a valley, or you would have to we would have to raise it up.
Yeah.
And so for what we're doing, it's fine. It's perfect. We'd have to expand the high jump area, needs to be a little bigger, and then we'd have to add pole vault, which is a major expense. You're looking at $25,000 to $30,000 by the time you buy a mat and poles, and then you have to have $1 million insurance, life insurance, just for that event.
Oh, wow.
And so it's really cost prohibitive to most small schools. And so we can hold big meets, and we can bring teams in and we can show them Caldwell County hospitality and put on a good show, and make money that's going to help the athletic department and just help us continue to grow and add things for the kids within just the track program.
Is the scheduling plan, though, to keep adding more home meets, or is 3 or 4 about what you would like to have each year?
I went with 3 this year. I talked with, now Coach McClung and Coach Riley, and we decided 3, and we started, small and just kind of built it up. These test runs. Okay, let's try it with a couple teams. Let's try it with a few more teams. But in the future, we definitely want to add more. It plays in our favor. I don't have to travel. We've got everything here. The biggest drawback for me is that I have to do so much during the meet. But that's part of it, and I don't get to coach, which kind of drives me crazy. I get a chance to talk to kids here and there, but the coaches can't be quite as involved. Coach Clark, fortunately, is down there with her throwers, so she can help them, but even then, she's really busy. Same with Coach Goodwin, but then Coach White and I are tied up. She helps with the timing system. I'm doing all the starts. So that's a bit of a negative, but, there's not too many places we're going to go where we're going to run on a better track, and so I don't see any reason why going some other place. There's schools that I really like their coaches, and I like going. I like going to Marshall. I like going to Muhlenberg. They've always been really good to us. I don't mind going over to McCracken or down to like Callaway or Murray. So, but yeah, for the most part, I think we're going to stay close to home the next few years.
Now, the big meet coming up on Saturday here, is that the last regular season meet before you guys get ready for the regional track meet?
That one's Saturday. The kids will have a day off Sunday, and then we're going to practice Monday through Friday. We're going to practice on Saturday, take that Sunday off, and then it's unusual to come in and have a Monday meet. I'm not wild about it, but with everybody's graduation schedule, everybody's trying to work together for the best of everybody. Callaway's is on Tuesday, ours is on Friday. I didn't want to have it on a Saturday.
Right.
I didn't want to have graduation and then have kids come back and expect them to perform. That's just not fair to them. And so we wound up with Monday, and really we didn't want to go too far back this way. I talked to Coach Wicker at Callaway and Coach Wyatt at Tillman, and we all kind of agreed that at state we took 3 weeks off last year, and they were just not sharp. They just you just lose that competitive edge when you're not competing. So
we're talking this morning with Caldwell County track coach Steve Shaw. We'll come back and have more on the Sideline Report after this timeout. Stay with us here on 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Tune out all those funny car insurance ads and tune in to Erie Insurance. It's seriously good. Ask about Erie Rate Lock and other great reasons to switch. Call Goodwin Insurance of Cadiz for a quote today. 270-522-5700.
Your Weather Edge Weather Center forecast. We have an overnight low of 59 degrees with mostly cloudy skies by this afternoon. Partly sunny, high of 81, 50-50 shot for showers and storms. Thursday night, much of the same. Another 50-50 chance for showers and storms, mostly cloudy with a low around 64. And then on Friday, high rain chances as well with thunderstorms possible in the afternoon. Partly sunny skies, warming the atmosphere and a high of 83. But back to right now, an overnight low of 59, and by this afternoon, partly sunny and 81.
Come by the Joint in Eddyville for mouth-watering smoked meats and flavorful sides, now with a brand new look. They've remodeled the interior to give you an even better experience and can't wait for you to see it. Stop by Tuesday through Sunday and enjoy the same great food and service you have grown accustomed to. Find The Joint online for more information and to book their catering services. The Joint is the perfect spot for a quick lunch or a fun night out. Come see for yourself. They can't wait to serve you.
Hello, I'm Sheila Gates with Farmers Bank. Is your money working hard or hardly working? With a Farmers Bank certificate deposit, you get a safe investment with a predictable return on your hard-earned dollars. Call today and see how we can make rising interest rates a good thing for your bottom line. For a limited time only, ask about our new money promotion that gives you an even higher rate. Farmers Bank, live unique, bank unique, member FDIC. Terms apply.
This is the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. We appreciate you tuning in this morning. We're talking track this morning with Caldwell County coach Steve Shaw. And, of course, big home meet coming up on Saturday out here at Tiger Stadium. And the regional track meet not that far behind. And, Coach, when you look at the regional track meet, do you have some that you're kind of banking on to maybe qualify for that state track meet up in Lexington?
I've had several, and it's both sides, it's boys and girls, which I'm always excited about. First couple of years, it was, mostly my guys' team, and it took a little while to get the girls going. And right now, I think my girls are a little ahead of my guys. So, there's several. I think, Ava Pickett, I think she's got a really good chance in the 300 hurdles and high jump, and really especially the past 2 weeks where she's really kind of made some tweaks to what she was doing and just a few minor adjustments. And I've seen her go in 2 weeks go from 4.4 to 4.8 to 5 foot. And, she's getting a little bit more confidence with it. I think also on the girls' side, I think my 4x1 and 4x2 girls' teams are really solid. And so, I've got Avery Wells who kind of anchors that along with Shaylee Thibodeau, who came in last year and, just melded right into the team. And, they kind of lead that, and then it shifts up. I got Chevy McGowan that leads off. She really takes a lot of pride in, being the lead off of that 4x1 team. And I've got Mariah Merritt, who's, kind of stepped up. She's been with me a long time. I had her brother Dylan, I had her sister Amaya, and, Mariah's just kind of got tradition going. And, she's plays a really big role in my 4x1. She's kind of the link between my two fastest, and it's, an important position. I got to trust her in that spot. To make that, to get it from my, one of my fastest runners to one of my other fastest runners.
Yeah.
And then, in the 4x2, Haley Dalton, freshman, she's new to the team this year, kind of stepped in there, and then Ava's part of that 4x2 team. And, like I said, you gotta fill multiple roles. I gotta be able to plug you in there. On the guys' side, I think Cooper Mobley and Daniel Laurent, just two guys that show up every day at practice and work hard, and they're late. And I think on the discus side, I think both of them have very good chances of qualifying for state. Cooper is probably gonna qualify there as well, as a freshman, and so that's really impressive to take in that area. Younger kids, especially for the guys, 100, 200 shot and disc, they're really kind of power events, and a lot of times at that freshman sophomore, they're still kind of growing and developing into kind of who they're going to be, and so to get that out of there, to get somebody qualified, in those events at a young age really says a lot about talent and work. And so I think Nichols has a good shot at in the jump events. And then some of the guys, there's always people that surprise you. They'll show up at regionals and they'll just everything clicks and they have that best time, that best run, that best jump. And so yeah, and that's the fun part. Is the people you kind of expect in certain events to qualify. I think Kylie White, she's kind of transitioning down from 1600 to 800, and I think she's got a really good shot at qualifying. Girls 4x8, we got to drop a few seconds, but I think they've got a pretty good shot at getting here. I think that adrenaline for me in regionals and running with better teams a lot of times will pull you to a better time. But Kylie's, she's kind of focused back from the 16, which she's qualified for state 2 years in a row at 16. But she's dropped back down towards the 8, which I think is probably going to be a better event for her with the way she runs. So,
one thing you've done as coach is kind of identifying school records and those kind of things. How many of those have you guys had this year?
Let's see. I know Cooper's got one in shot. The throwers relay, we have it up there, and everybody thinks it's a joke, but the throwers really take it serious. And they have a lot of fun with it, and that's good. We work hard and we need those fun moments for the kids. Just something different to kind of break it up. And so they've done both those. I believe Coop might have gotten the javelin record right now. As a matter of fact, he does. But Jackson Risley, who had it, is right on his tail, and they're both freshmen. And for me as a coach, it's exciting. It's going to be kind of this. I was talking to Coach Clark about it yesterday, as a matter of fact. There's kind of this conflict of style between the two. Cooper's more of a power guy, where Jackson uses the speed, and so you see both those kind of fighting each other. And so, and then Ava's set the school record in the high jump at 5 foot, and she's just keeps breaking her 3x100 hurdles record, and so she's got it down to 50, 51. I could see her going under 50 this year. And then who knows where she's going to go the next year, as a senior.
Well, once again, big home meet coming up on Saturday. Again, tell us who's going to be here and what time you guys are going to start.
Starting at about 10, so be early. We got about 13 teams, Fulton City, St. Mary, Madisonville, Tillman, Callaway, Union's coming. Todd County Central's coming up here. I'm sure I'm going to skip somebody. Central's coming over. It's big. Yeah, so 12. I should have brought my list. Yeah. So I've had so much going on. Whoever shows up with a check is in at this point.
Well, hopefully the weather holds, and just glad we could make it in this morning. We both had a little travel difficulty getting to the studio this morning, but we're able to squeeze in right before the show started and able to talk about the track team this morning.
Yeah, if our principal, Dr. Roy, or anybody in the office is listening, it still looks like there's a lot of traffic out there, and it's probably going to be a few hours before I make it back in. Right. So
appreciate you coming in and getting here today and being on the air with us.
Ty, I always appreciate you coming out and covering us and having us on. Thank you, sir.
That's Caldwell County track coach Steve Shaw. Again, big home meet coming up Saturday morning, starting around 10 o'clock at Tiger Stadium. Stay with us. We're going to talk to former Tiger Fonzo White about his new basketball job at Floyd Central in Indiana when we come back on the Sideline Report. Stay with us here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Stop wasting money on storage rental. Own your storage with Easy Portable Buildings. Learn more by contacting Easy Portable Buildings of Hopkinsville.
Easy Portable Buildings.
Your Weather Edge Weather Center forecast, an overnight low of 59, and by this afternoon, partly sunny with a high of 81, 50% chance for showers and thunderstorms. By Thursday night, a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms continues. Mostly cloudy skies, low around 64, and then on Friday, a 60% chance of showers and storms, especially in the mid to late afternoon. Partly sunny skies, high of 83 degrees. But back to you right now, an overnight low of 59, and by this afternoon, partly sunny and 81.
West Kentucky Real Estate and Auction holds monthly auctions at the Auction Center on U.S. Highway 62 in Princeton, in the former Hancock's grocery store. Be sure to check their website for dates and times and listings of auctions and days at the Auction Center. WestKentuckyRealEstate.com has all of their upcoming auctions listed. If you'd like to have an auction or would like to find out how to consign at an auction, contact West Kentucky Real Estate and Auction. Wayne Boyd, broker, auctioneer.
This is Kevin Meacham from H&R Agribot. When it's more than just your lawn, it deserves a Kubota Z400. Get a head-turning offer on class-leading speed, agility, simple deck height adjustment, and quality cut. When you need comfort and performance, then you need the professional-grade Kubota Z400. Right now, get the Kubota Z400 mower for 0 down, 0% APR for 48 months or save $300.
Now through June 30th, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer. Test drive one today at H&R AgriPower, 4900 Eagle Way, Hopkinsville.
Hello, this is Brad Harrelson with First Southern National Bank. There is little doubt that many are facing financial hardships in our country today. The statistics can be startling to look at, with as many as 70% of Americans having less than $1,000 saved for emergencies. While it can be easy to point fingers, the truth of the matter is that many folks lack the basic financial knowledge to avoid these pitfalls. To meet this need, First Southern has provided financial literacy resources so that the people of our communities can be better equipped to face the financial challenges life throws their way. We invite you to explore the Financial Literacy Resource Center at FSMB.net. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Welcome back this morning. Talking now with Caldwell County grad, a former Tiger basketball player, Fonzo White, who joins us on the telephone. And Fonzo, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Todd, for having me on the show today.
Yeah, absolutely. You're getting a little bit closer to home for us. Tell us about your new job.
Well, very, very excited to be closer to home. I mean, Floyd Knobs is about an hour and a half away from Princeton. And, just looking forward to being at Floyd Knobs and getting to make an impact with the team and getting with the team and getting some camps and a lot of games under our belt.
Yeah, how did this opportunity kind of come about?
Well, it started like a few years back. I coached an AAU team with a kid by the name of Jake Heidenbreder. He ended up getting a scholarship to Air Force, and he just recently transferred to Clemson now. And his dad and I had a few conversations about, the possibility of coming to Floyd Knobs if the job ever opened. And what ended up happening was a guy by the name of A.J. Moyer that played at IU, he ended up getting a college coaching job. And so it opened the job back up, and it allowed me the opportunity to give the AD a call down there and touch base with him. And he said he was interested in talking, and one thing led to another. And I reached out to Hudson again and ended up getting an interview on the Friday, and they called me a little bit later in the week and offered me the position.
Yeah, I was going to say you were just introduced Monday night as head coach there at Floyd Central.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They had the board meeting Monday night. It started at 6 o'clock. A lot of great people in the New Albany-Floyd County School District, and, just a lot of great people that support basketball and support their school system.
Yeah, just want to clarify for everyone listening, this is the Floyd Central in Floyd's Knobs, Indiana, and not the Floyd Central in Kentucky. So looking at Floyd Central, it looks like to me about 1,800 students or more. Is that about right for that school?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is, and it's a 4A school, and so they compete coming out of the south of the semi-state out of Indiana, which Indiana split into two semi-states. You have the north and the south in a 4-class system.
Well, I was going to bring up the point that Indiana basketball is a little different from Kentucky because you guys actually have classes, so you get to compete with similar-sized schools.
Yes, sir. And when I was at Clinton Central, I was a 1A school, and then I ended up going to Fort Wayne Lures, and that was a 3A school at the time, and they since dropped to 2A now, and now I get to stay in 4A and compete against a lot of 4A schools, similar schools the size of Floyd Central, if not bigger.
Yeah, when you were at Bishop Lures, you had quite the commute going on to get to school every day.
Yes. And I took a year off from that. I resigned from that position last year and took a year off to spend some time with my kids and help my kids with some development with their sports. And now is a good time to get back in it. And I plan on moving to the Floyd Knobs area as soon as I can get through the next 12 days of regular school.
Yeah, and Floyd's Knobs is just outside of Louisville, right?
Yes, sir. It's just north of Louisville on the other side of the river. There's New Albany, and then there's Floyd Knobs. If you go up 65, you take 265 over to 64, and you take a road called Benson's Road, and you're right there at Floyd Central High School.
Yeah, so like we say, you're getting closer to home all the time.
Well, I hope so. I hope so at some point in time. But I think, like I told them in the interview, Floyd Central is a destination job. It's one of those schools that, they have great academics and great kids to work with and great faculty and staff and just great administrators all the way around.
What do you know about the team you have coming back next season?
Right now, I only know about 3 of the kids mainly, but I just know that the pipeline is rich. The pipeline is rich. There's a lot of good kids coming up in the younger programs. Highland Hills Middle School is the middle school that feeds into Floyd Central. Already reached out this week to some of the feeder system coaches, 8th grade coaches, and a gentleman that runs our mini ball program and everything. And, just a lot of great people with a lot of support and enthusiastic about Floyd Central basketball.
Well, we've already mentioned the fact that Indiana has classes. What are some of the other differences in Indiana high school basketball than maybe what we around here are typically used to seeing in Kentucky high school basketball?
There's not much difference other than the class system, but, as far as, basketball play, different parts of the state, there's different supporters and, different super fans and things like that. And you have a lot of gyms that are huge and some gyms that are small, but they each have a unique feel for them.
Now, I know you guys play a less amount of regular season games, and the season seems like it's just a little more condensed than the one in the Bluegrass State.
Yeah, it's about 20 weeks or, 4 months, give or take. And again, we start up November 6th and end around March sometime. And, it's just a lot of games that you can pack in a short period of time, but then you have a few weeks that you can take off and then get back at it with spring workouts and get yourself ready for summer games and things like that.
We're talking this morning with Fonzo White, former Tiger basketball player and a Caldwell County High School grad. He's the new boys basketball head coach at Floyd Central in Indiana. And Fonzo, what have you been doing since between the Lures job and this job?
Well, just mainly sticking with my kids, hanging with my kids a lot. My son is playing in the middle, playing baseball right now. My daughter's running track. Spending a lot of time with them, hiking and biking and playing video games with them every once in a while. But also, I at the middle school that I work at in Indianapolis, I coach cross country in the fall, and then just ended up not coaching anything this spring, just so I could prepare myself to get a job such as Floyd Central.
Oh, I didn't realize you were a cross country coach. How did you kind of come into that job?
Well, when I've gotten an education, I just started coaching cross country and track, and it stuck with me ever since. I love to run, and when I was at Caldwell County, I was a track athlete. So, it's just one of those things that sticks with you, and it keeps you in shape and helps the body stay healthy.
Now, at Floyd Central, what kind of classroom work will you have to do there?
Well, right now I'm teaching some physical education classes, and then also teaching a career college-ready class.
Okay. Now, one thing that was really cool last May, and we might have talked about this before a little bit, but you got to coach in an all-star game in the gym from the movie Hoosiers.
Yes. A gentleman by the name of Don Scheinman had reached out to me when I was playing against Noblesville High School in Noblesville, Indiana, and he had asked myself and the other coach, Scott McClellan, if we'd be interested in coaching, and, got to coach with a great coach in Scott McClellan and work alongside with him for that game. And, we got to coach some of the all-stars of the state, and a lot of those kids are on playing Division I basketball or some type of college basketball right now.
How neat was it, though, just to be in that gym and get to play a little basketball?
Well, it's a very unique feeling. When you watch it on the movie doesn't really do any as much justice as being there in the actual gym and getting the feel of it, and how small the court was and how where the benches are at on the end line. Of course, in the movie I think they were on the sideline, but our benches were set up on the end line for that game, and it's just a lot of fun, a lot